I just came back from watching Fantastic Four First Steps, okay? And let me tell y'all something. Really good movie. I actually really did enjoy it, and I was really worried about Pedro Pascal, okay? Seeing him versus, Johan, I thought the choice was clear. I thought Johan would have been a much better Reed. He looked like Reed. But Pedro Pascal did really good, honestly. There were a lot of scenes in the movie where don't mind me, I'm ironing. I have engagement photos, so, gotta make sure everything's tip-top shape. But anyways, there's a lot of scenes where, you can really see Pedro Pascal doing what he needs to do as Reed Richards, right? And I think he does a very good job of playing somebody who it looks like they're constantly thinking, very analytical, thinking about all the contingencies. I think that's really huge when you're trying to play somebody, as iconic as Reed Richards. And I think Pedro Pascal does really good. Okay, really well. Same with the other cast members. Okay, I didn't remember everybody's name, unfortunately, but Vanessa Kirby did really well as Sue. An amazing Johnny as well as an amazing Ben as well. I'm so sorry. I need to re-up on all of the actors and actresses. I did my best to try to stay away from any of the actors and actresses in any of the trailers as well. I didn't want to spoil anything, okay? You can't blame me for that. You can. But another thing, I really thought it was cool the way that they portrayed the world that the Fantastic Four lived in. Right? So first off, they skip the entire portion. All right. Before we get any farther, I want you to know I'm going to keep the spoilers to a very minimal, okay? Nothing that spoils the overall plot of the movie or the progression of the movie, okay? Just a few things that you probably could have seen from any of the trailers. You can tell the time period that they're trying to go for in the movie, and I love movies that are able to really make me feel like I'm in a different time period. It's amazing. And it's so cool because all of the technology is, really old school looking, but it's some high-tech stuff. And I think that is so unique to see, man. I think that's so great. And it's very interesting the way that the Fantastic Four were shown because, again, we skipped their intro. We skipped their origin. They already exist in the world. They have a place. And the story shows them in a really cool light. It shows that the world, they are the protectors of that world. With that being said, the world goes to them for answers. They are the shining light, the first family, the first line of defense, and it's cool. And it's even cooler to see that the Fantastic Four is what everyone goes to, but Reed Richards is what everyone in the entirety goes to. To see that Reed Richards' mind is so powerful that everybody flocks to him. When he has the answers, everyone goes to him for the answers. He's the leader. But when he doesn't have the answers, that's when things get scary. And that's another thing that the movie does extremely well. They're able to actually make you feel some sort of fear. I mean, it's insane just how much emotion is conveyed in the film, especially from Pedro Pascal. I mean, all the other characters as well, but again, I was really critical of Pedro. I was really focused in on him because I wanted him to play a good Reed. Right? Make me forget about John Krasinski. Make me forget about Johan. I already forgot about the other guy. I want to focus in on, again, that scare, that emotion that they convey in the film. Galactus is the main antagonist, as we all know, and we've all seen through some of the trailers. It's been hinted at, so that's, again, not a spoiler. But it's so cool the way that they portrayed Galactus. Man, Galactus is a threat, bro. A threat. But he's not just a threat, right? A threat is Thanos, okay? A threat was Kang. A threat was any of the villains in any of the past MCU films. Galactus is the universe. He's just something that happens. He's not a threat. He just happens. So when you see Galactus, holy crap, you just feel nothing but inevitable death. You feel destruction. You feel scared. You feel fear. And you feel the character's fear. All of the actors and actresses did extremely well. I think Galactus was amazing. I think Silver Surfer was amazing. Each of the members of the Fantastic Four were amazing. I believe that the story was amazing as well. The story was extremely short, okay? But not even extremely. It was just along the shorter side in terms of MCU films. But people think that is a bad thing, right? I don't think so. If you have a story to tell, there's no need to keep beating around the bush. If you have your story that you need to tell, just tell the story. Just tell the story. There's no need for us to talk about everything. Just tell the story. And I like that. We skip that 40 minutes that they usually would take to show the characters beforehand and showing them get their powers and then showing them figuring out. Skip that. They know how to use their powers. Speaking of powers, Pedro Pascal's stretching, it looked good. It looked really good. It looked amazing. I mean, it looked fantastic. And I want to say that as well, man. The visual effects, man. The VFX team, they did their thing too. It's really good to see the VFX team back on top and doing some really cool things. I mean, seeing the Fantastic Car fly around, seeing the thing on screen it didn't look like, oh my gosh, right? It looked good. Seeing Johnny light up in flames. Seeing Sue go invisible or use her powers was also really cool. The way that they did the teamwork was also really cool. It was insane. There's this one scene here which is not going to spoil anything, but there was a team attack where Sue created like a field. And Johnny shot fire through it, so her light refraction essentially created what was a magnifying glass to create concentrated heat blasts. And it might have been something that went over people's eyes or over people's head, but it was really, really cool to see all of their very unique abilities be able to mix and match and combine like that. That was so cool to me. And, I just really appreciated that movie. It wasn't super duper beat 'em up. And I think that's what's cool about Marvel. And I think that's what's really cool and unique about Reed is that a lot of his solutions are more like, not let's go punch it, but it's like, let's figure something out. And, to double down on the intelligence in that movie as well, they really did Johnny Storm really different than the past movies. They always show Johnny as like, you always think of Johnny as some sort of hot-tempered hothead, egotistical and all that jazz, but they showed him as more than that. He still had his moments, obviously, but instead of just showing him as some hothead who screams flame on like they did with Chris Evans, right? He had some key points in the movie where he was showing his intelligence. And that was interesting. One of the first lines in the movie was that I picked the brightest minds and the most talented people, and they just so happened to be my best friend Ben, my wife, Sue Storm, and her, and my brother-in-law, Johnny Storm. And I'm like, well, we would say Johnny's smart, and then they show scenes where he's actually super smart, and I'm like, holy crap, that's actually insanely impressive, some of the things he does. So I mean, just to think about what they're doing here, I just hope that they give the Fantastic Four that much attention that they did with this movie in future projects, man. I really liked it. I loved the way they portrayed the Fantastic Four. I love the way that they portrayed the world that they live in. I love the way that they portrayed the way that the Fantastic Four influences the world that they're in. And I also really enjoyed the fact of how much the world depends on the Fantastic Four. Like, we've seen the Avengers and other heroes in the MCU, but I don't think we've seen the world depending on a set of heroes like this. This was mind-boggling and mind-blowing. The way that they showed the environment, the way that they built up the team, the lore, the shows, and everything. I mean, it was such a beautiful movie, and I think it's only gonna look better with age, and it's only gonna grow as time goes on. It's only gonna make me be like, wow. I look back on it, and I'm like, this is a great movie. I loved it, man. I think you all should go check it out. Go watch it. Let me know how y'all feel about the movie in the comments. You know what I'm saying? I love each and every one of y'all. Stay safe out there. It's your boy Yield. I gotta finish up ironing.